and we are back again for the Data Analytics series. Hey guys, it's Zayana from Beneath Art, where we research to conserve better. Today is an amazing day because we've received our first topic request. Maria, an arts conservator from Barcelona, writes, "How can I use data to develop my thoughts better?" Good question, Maria. A pretty big one to answer, but absolutely necessary. We are constantly deep in data, but how often do we think about data in conservation? Where and how can data help us gain insights? So let's talk about the value of data today. We'll take you through the data flow work in this video and a couple of tidbits on the side as well, and we hope you like this one. Let's go. Let's dive right into this. No pun intended. I'm pretty sure you've seen this in memes or motivational images where you don't know what a person might face versus what you actually see. The iceberg theory is one that might have its familiarity with us. But how is this applicable when we think of data? When we think about making data-driven decisions, this is where we're at. We want to show relevant insights to make decisions and gain understandings. And how do we arrive here? All these other bits of the iceberg are where we create meaning and uncover its value. If you're going to present a table of findings in a page full of text, how sure are you that your audience, which could even be you, would actually understand what's happening? How can you identify trends in the dataset? Let's take the same dataset, but this time present it in a visualization. This can be done for something as simple as the overall distribution of a study. And we'll be making more videos in this series to introduce you to some tools to visualize your data, so just hit subscribe to stay updated on our content. Most of the time, the data we collect are just so much, and it all depends on your research questions and your accessibility to collect the data, of course. You can check out a video we did previously on collecting meaningful data in the link below. Okay, so how do we start thinking about data? How can it help develop my thoughts? Essentially, we can't only be thinking of data as raw information, which is pretty meaningless if you ask me. We want to transform all that raw data into data with meaning. We want something that we can understand, and this requires processing. And with everything that requires processing, we need a super clear workflow. A workflow is a sequence of tasks that processes a set of data. Workflows occur across every kind of business and industry. And anytime data is passed between human to a system, a workflow is created. Workflows are the paths that describe how something goes from being undone to done, from being raw to processed, basically from information to an understanding. Here are the 5 main processes in a data workflow: frame, prepare, analyze, interpret, and communicate. First up, framing. So every quest starts with a question. This is where you develop hypothesis-driven questions to guide your data collection. Come back to this at any time. And the next one, prepare. This is where you get your data or select a dataset, import and clean the relevant data. This might take one of the longest times. Analyze. So refer back to your hypothesis questions and create the parameters in your dataset. Try to find patterns and see if you can get any insights from there. And interpreting your results. So leveraging on those insights that you've made, can you try to create some decisions, recommendations? What are the patterns that you've found? What does it mean? And lastly, to communicate. Present those insights that you found in a compelling manner that makes sense to your audience. This workflow isn't necessarily linear, or is it a straight line? Sometimes when you're at the third phase, you'll need to go back and reframe your question, or just collect more data. So let's see how this workflow would look like in practice. Framing. I want to find out more about the canvas that was used during an artist's practice. My data collection is going to focus mainly on collecting information about canvas material. And this is where we need to decide what type of information would be meaningful to collect. The color, the weave, fiber type, are there presence of any manufacturer stamps? So I'm going to frame this with a little bit more focus. What are the types of fibers that these canvas were made of? Are there any chronological trends? I would suggest getting a broad overview first before diving in. I've collected lots of other information about the canvas which are not necessarily going to answer this question. We'll use the year of date and fiber identification for this example. And the second step, prepare. Going back to the dataset, these needs preparation and cleaning. Bad data in, bad data out. A lot of time can be spent in processing bad data, especially if you're using Excel to record your findings. So just be mindful that cotton with a small c, cotton fibers are all going to give you 4 variables, even with a space bar after the word. And preparation of data also includes deciding what to do with nulls, or what do you do with data that can't be attained because of accessibility. Don't let that stop you from making analysis, but also be decisive on a data cleaning plan will minimize risks of bad or skewed data insights. Now let's start analyzing. Of the 59 artworks, we've got 34 works on canvas. These span from 1949 to 1982, so we've got quite a wide spread. And you can do these from Excel with simple counter formulas, filter functions, and charts. However, there is a limitation to visualization. Excel isn't a tool for visualization and can't really visualize varied dimensions in text as easily. I find that the data visualization helps make relationships and trends distinct and easy for us to identify. We like working with Tableau for this one. Data visualization doesn't have to be a scary looking chart. Let's group the year by decades. We'll use a table chart for this and add a little color. And now for interpretation. Just with some color, we can now see pretty clearly that in the 1960s, we've got a strong dominance of linen fibers, and in 1970s, cotton is more dominant. This turned out to be a really interesting trend that we did not expect to see. And you can see how the data has been transformed from an Excel spreadsheet into an insight. Of course, this is not the end all. This will guide us on how we would want to further explore this dataset. Data analysis is like building blocks where you slowly build up your understanding from insights that you've gained. So from here, you can now go back to the dataset to uncover more relationships and trends. And now, communication. Now that you've built some insights, you can easily communicate these data-driven findings to your audience. The thing here to guide your journey is that to some extent, data analytics is an audience-driven process. Who is your audience? It could be you, or your colleagues, or your boss, management, clients. And you can take a complex dataset and just present one number. Or you could have a pretty looking diagram but have people wondering what exactly are they meant to be looking at. And once you've got this sorted out, you'll start realizing that this workflow helps to develop or guide the way you engage with data up to when you get your insights. This will guide how you start planning research projects, to understand how you make meaning from the data, and in understanding the type of clients you may have, and the list goes on. So we hope this video has helped you get your head around how to develop your thoughts better with data. Just remember the 5 steps in the data workflow process. Go on and give us a like to let us know you enjoy our video. Again, I'm Diana from Beneath Art. If you're new here, remember to hit subscribe and keep updated whenever we post a new video. You can also follow us on Instagram at beneath.art. And we'll see you in the next video. Did you guys notice the lighting? It's so much better this time. We've invested in like a ring light. So we're not using our house lights anymore. So get ready for more content from us.